Say that again.
Toast. Hey, welcome back. We're back at it again. We're here with one of our donor cars. This is going to be one of the last pieces that we need to help make river car and fire car. So we're going to get to stripping this thing down and parts separated out, find out what we can use and what we can't. So the plan for today is we're going to try to get these doors off. The windows are seized in place. We can't get those off until we get the doors apart. So we're going to try to take the hood, the bumper off to get to the fenders and the doors. And the plan is to try to get the entire door off, so that way we can get the glass out and that kind of stuff. With any luck, we can keep rolling and get through the majority of this car because there's still engine in it. So it should be great.
And this is how we began stripping this big bear. What we're gonna do now is gonna be removing the hood, fender liners, front wheels, turn signals, as well as the front bumper and fenders. After that, we're gonna be stripping down the doors so we can have access to the window regulators. We're hoping the regulators are not seized in place because we need to energize them so we can have access to the remaining components sitting behind the window. Luckily for us, the regulators were still operational. Therefore, we could remove the windows from the door and get access to the remaining of the component. We believe the car sat outside with the windows not fully closed because we found some corrosion and oxidation in certain areas of the interior of the car.
Go. So a little sit rep here, we started tearing apart the door. And so far, structurally, the door looks good, so it'll be a good donor candidate. I'm pretty sure there's damage on the inside of the other door from previous crash history. This one looks pretty good other than somebody not knowing how to put it back together. So wrong screws everywhere, wrong size nuts and bolts and things like that. A couple damaged parts that we expected due to just wear and tear and age. Other than that, this thing looks pretty good for,
We stopped working on the front of the car for a minute because we decided to focus on removing the doors first to ensure an easier access to the car's interior and prevent any potential damage to the doors with the lift. Also, if your business partner is not as committed as my friend Jay, willing to go upside down for over 30 minutes to remove some interior parts, then you might have the wrong partner.
So now that we got the driver's door off, we're starting on the passenger side. This side supposedly has damage, so as soon as I get the window out, I'll be able to look in there and see what kind of mess we're dealing with. I already took the door panel off, and I just need to activate the motor here to drop the window, and then we'll see what we got.
After the driver and passenger side doors were removed, we proceeded to remove the seats to create more space to take out the dashboard, center console, and the remaining of the interior parts.
Okay, so we got the door off, obviously. Working on the interior now. I'm gonna pull the dash next after all the junk comes out. And this car is nasty. It's wet in here, it stinks, it's got a lot of corrosion. It's pretty nasty. So, you know, at least it's not super muddy or on fire.
This is just moist, slightly moist.
Yes, it's nasty. This carpet looks like it was gray at some point, and now it's like black and green. And probably mold or something that's gonna kill me, so.
I mean, if the river car didn't kill you, then I think we can survive anything.
But it's for the cause. Here we go. All right, getting started now.
Some of the rear interior pieces were missing, so that didn't take much to take care of. We did notice that the center console plate was broken in half by two poorly installed gauges from the previous turbocharged system on the car. We found some poorly installed wiring behind the console, but luckily for us, the radio and the climate control unit were in good shape. The SRS unit, glove compartment, and the rest of the modules sitting behind the center console were removed before we switched to the driver's side so we can start removing the steering wheel, pedals, dashboard, and the carpet.
All right, so far the car is coming along nicely, right?
Yeah.
Some corrosion, nothing new for us.
Some roaches.
Roaches, a lot of mismatched screws and bolts,
Yeah.
some missing bolts.
Dude, little plants.
And that.
There's a lot of little plants in here.
We've also found an old school ECU. AEM version version 1?
Yeah, sir.
Series 1. This thing's old. No wonder they blew up the engine. Anyways, the goal for the day is try not to die for any random weird disease from this car. I mean, we survived the River NSX, so I think our immune system proved to be strong enough. We're gonna take care of the front, and if we have enough time, we're gonna try to finish the back of the car. There's no engine in it, so that's a plus. Maybe we can get the suspension, but we will see. So let's get to it one more time.
Jay continued to work in the interior of the car. There were a few parts left that we had to take care of. While he was doing that, I moved to the front of the car and started removing some of the front harness, fuse box, brake lines, coolant hoses, and the driver and passenger side headlight assembly.
I'll let you say it.
It's a custom-made bracket by the previous owner, made out of cardboard and duct tape. Very malleable.
After we tackle the headlights assembly, we proceed to start working on the AC unit components, heat exchanger, airbox, AC condensers, and the ABS system. One of the most challenging parts of this whole NSX disassembly is the bagging and tagging of all the bolts, nuts, screws, and brackets from all over the car.
What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the continuation of us dissecting this beautiful yellow NSX. It was actually respray, it used to be black I think. So we're gonna try to finish the whole front of the car, the AC condenser, radiator, harness, some of the brake lines that I left from the couple days ago. We're gonna try to remove the brake calipers, rotors, hubs, suspension part. Potentially we can get into the steering rack, and when we clear all this area, we're gonna remove the cowl, the windshield wipers, and if our body can stand the heat, actually the cold, then we can get into the back end of the car, which is gonna be us removing the quarter panels, spoiler, trunk lid, rear bumper, maybe even the subframe. So it depends how we feel with the cold today. So let's get to it.
In this section of the video, you will see us removing the front calipers and rotors, radiator, a couple coolant hoses, the hood latch, and the remaining of the AC lines that we didn't remove from the last part of this video. The only things that were left up front, besides what I mentioned before, was one auxiliary harness, a windshield wiper assembly, and the windshield wiper arms. While we were recording this part of the video, it was around 15 degrees in the garage, so somehow the weather managed to mess up our microphones. So I'm gonna be doing a voiceover of this section of the video. Here you see me talking about the side skirt, as well as us leaving the front and rear suspension on the car, so we can have a roller that we can move in the garage, as well as put it on the trailer so we can take it down to Georgia, other friends of Blackjack. This section of the video shows me explaining that we're gonna be removing the rear quarter panels, tail lights, trunk lid, spoiler, as well as the rear bumper and frame, so we can have a somehow clean chassis that we can take to the guys in Georgia. Now that the front end of this NSX was ready to go, we proceed to start working on the back of the car. We remove the side skirt, passenger side quarter panel, the tail lights, the trunk lid, which we have some issues because the arm that allows the trunk lid to lift was stuck in place because it was bent. We have to use a little bit of force so we can get to the bolts and remove the trunk lid and the spoiler. After that, we proceed to remove the rear bumper and frame. The only issue that we have with this part of the video was removing the driver's side quarter panel because one of the bolts was stripped in place. It was 4 in the morning and 15 degrees, so we decided to call off the day and try it again a couple days later when it was warmer.
And with this, we're gonna wrap up the video. This quarter panel is not coming out, there's something stuck behind it. And it's 4 in the morning and we are kind of tired, so we're gonna try that in the next couple days when it's not 15 degrees. So yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna get it done. It's too cold for us today, and it's been a long day. So till next time.
A few days later, we came back to the garage and finished removing the driver's side quarter panel and fixed the bolt issue that we have a couple days ago. We removed a few more harnesses from the trunk, and this car now is ready to go to Georgia so they can take measurements from the body and trying to get it as straight as possible before we cut it and start welding the back end of this car into the FireX. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and comment our videos. Please consider subscribe to our channel as well as visit our other media accounts at Helix Auto Works on Instagram and Facebook.